We are keeping track of some weather out there this afternoon. It's been the third consecutive day of 90+ degrees. However, we're also seeing some rain and, well, some stormy skies. We've already seen some rain in Fort Collins.
Let's get straight to 9 News Chief Meteorologist, there we go, Kathy Sabin. Kathy, expecting a big drop in temps, and you're tracking some stuff going on.
Yeah, all of a sudden, severe thunderstorms have popped up east of Denver on the plains. We've had a few light showers coming off the foothills in Fort Collins, with a bit of thunder and lightning. If you catch yourself looking at some raindrops, count yourself lucky, because it's another hot day with temperatures in the 90s and triple digits. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch in western Nebraska, a high wind advisory in southeastern Wyoming for storms that have dropped 1-inch diameter hail, a severe thunderstorm now just outside of Greeley and also the Gaelton area. This storm is tracking southeast, has the potential for large hail and damaging wind. But it's this cell of prime concern, mainly rural areas. But this storm is rotating over Flagler, Stratton, and the Seabird area. Tornado warning for that rural area near the town of Seabird. This system is tracking toward the northeast, has a history of dropping big hail, has the potential for damaging wind. But this tiny polygon here, radar indicated rotation with this cell. And so at this point, there are no towns in the tornado warning area. It's primarily a rural area. The closest town is Seabird, but it is tracking northeast. So if you're in Flagler, Stratton, or Burlington, we want you to pay attention to this storm and the warning through the next 15 minutes or so. So again, tornado warning out, Kit Carson County, a rural area near the town of Seabird for radar indicated rotation. Severe thunderstorm watch covers 2 counties in northeastern Colorado, and the wind has become a factor, and fire danger because of the wind, the lack of moisture out across the western slope. We have a high fire danger scenario out that way. But as Alex mentioned, a big change tomorrow. Much cooler, but also a good chance of another round of severe storms. The timing and impact of all of that is coming up.
All right, Kathy, thank you. Speaking of some headlines, just within the last few minutes, police have found the father of a 3-year-old boy who was shot and critically injured this morning. Police say the boy, his father, and there were 2 other kids. They were in a back room at an apartment off of East Exposition Avenue when that gun went off. The boy's mother told police she was in another room when she heard the gunshot. She discovered the 3-year-old was hurt, took him to a nearby urgent care clinic. He was then transported to Children's Hospital, Colorado.
He is in the hospital with critical injuries. So, if you do pray, please pray for him and the family. This is probably a very tough time for them right now, and the child certainly has a long road ahead of them.
When officers arrived at the apartment, the boy's father was gone. But then within the last few minutes, we've learned he was arrested in Colorado Springs on a prior warrant.
Breaking in less 30 minutes, jurors have found MyPillow guy Mike Lindell liable for defamation over election rigging claims against Dominion voting systems.
9 News anchor Kyle Clark has been following this case since it started, and he joins us live from the courtroom. Oh, well, Kyle is there. We're going to go to Marshall Zellinger right now. Marshall, tell us what's happening. I understand Lindell is speaking now?
Yeah, and that's why Kyle's not here, why I'm here. He's over talking with MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell. We'll show you in one moment. Just to give you context of what's happened, in the last 45 minutes, we learned that Mike Lindell is liable for defamation, but just a fraction of what Eric Coomer, the former Dominion Voting Systems executive, was seeking in this lawsuit. There were 10 different claims that Coomer was hoping a jury would find him liable for, and the jury found Lindell liable for just 2 different days worth of statements about Eric Coomer. And Frank Speech, the media company by Mike Lindell, was found liable for 3 different days of claims. A total of $2.3 million was awarded to Eric Coomer. $300,000 of that was for punitive damages, which is the damages that basically say this is punishment and a deterrent so that other people won't do this again. Coomer's team was seeking $40 million in that, but they got just a fraction of it, 3.6% of what he was seeking. Overall, he was seeking $62 million in economic, non-economic, and punitive damages, and he got 3.6% of that. Right now, Mike Lindell is talking to the media just to the side of me here in federal court, and that's where Kyle is right now, and we can show some of this happening. I know it's going to look a little messy behind the scenes with our equipment and whatnot, but that's where Mike Lindell is talking probably about how it's a somewhat victory. I talked with the attorneys for Eric Coomer in the hallway upstairs before I came out here. They're also claiming victory, saying they're very satisfied with this and that it is a message to election workers and county clerks that they have their back. I asked the attorney, well, you asked for $40 million in the punishment punitive damages, and you got $300,000. How does that tell county clerks and election workers you have their back when the jury just gave you a fraction of what you were seeking? And they said that it proves that anybody can have their day in court and still win. I'm going to talk with one of those former county clerks, Matt Crane, who is the head of the County Clerks Association, to get a Colorado perspective on what the judgment means for Colorado election workers.
Yeah, I want to hear all of their thoughts. I mean, there are a lot more than just Mike Lindell that we need to hear from today, Marshall, and what this means really going forward. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm hoping to hear still from Eric Coomer or his attorneys. They've been going through a secure entrance on the other side of the building. I haven't seen them come out this way yet. I haven't seen any jurors come out. I'm hopeful that one of the 8 jurors at least might be willing to talk about what went through this very deliberative and it's such a confusing case in the first place, and the verdict here is quite confusing. I hope I'm conveying it properly, but of all the claims, there are some things that Lindell and his media company are being found liable for defamation, but just not to the extent of what Eric Coomer was seeking by bringing this case in the first place.
Be very interesting to hear from a juror directly.
Yes. No, you made sense of it. You really helped us out because it is a confusing case.
I tried.
Thank you.
So there's some new video tonight that reveals what happened as a Colorado State Trooper chased a wrong-way driver on I-25. The driver traveled against oncoming traffic. This was going on for more than 30 miles before crashing at I-25 in Spear last week.
That crash killed the driver and hurt several others, including a toddler. 9 News investigative reporter Jeremy Hohola got his hands on the video that shows the extremely dangerous pursuit before a supervisor called it off.
Yeah, there, Kim. This dash cam video shows the wrong-way driver completely ignoring the officer at speeds exceeding 90 miles per hour. The pursuit lasted about 15 miles before a supervisor finally called it off. This is dash cam footage from a Colorado State Trooper's police unit recorded on June 8th just before 3 a.m. The trooper first spots the wrong-way driver as he's headed northbound on I-25 in the town of Meade, about 30 miles north of downtown Denver.
I have a wrong-way driver, I-25, going southbound in a northbound lane, trying to catch up.
Pursuit begins.
His vehicle's not responding, my lights are sirens.
The trooper gets close to the van, but the driver ignores him.
Speeds are now at 95.
The trooper yells.
Pull over now!
The pursuit continues for more miles right into oncoming traffic as the trooper and wrong-way driver pass dozens of oncoming cars.
Hey, dude.
A dispatcher and a supervisor can be heard talking about coordinating with other agencies.
Yes, Penny just asking where they should set up the sticks.
The trooper has to suddenly swerve out of the way of an oncoming vehicle.
Almost caused a crash.
About 12 minutes into the pursuit, a supervisor asked the trooper to conduct a TVI, a tactical vehicle intervention, also known as a pit maneuver.
Okay, can you safely TVI into this intermediate?
I'll try to get in position.
20 seconds later, the trooper radios out he can't.
That's a negative for TVI. Got moderate traffic pushing us.
Okay, go ahead and terminate it.
I copy.
After 15 miles, the trooper ends the pursuit near I-25 and E-470. Eventually, 15 more miles down I-25, the wrong-way driver hits an oncoming vehicle at I-25 and Spear in downtown Denver. The driver died. 4 other people, including a toddler who was in the wrong-way van, were taken to the hospital with serious injuries. And we did not see any officers attempt to use stop sticks in this video. Dispatch audio reveals Broomfield police also tried pursuing the driver but stopped at 84th and I-25. Colorado State Patrol says it's reviewing what happened here. Denver police say the crash is still under investigation, and so far this wrong-way driver still has not been identified, and it's unknown why that driver behaved this way. Back to you, Alex.
An Adams County jury convicted a man for shooting the teenagers who were trying to steal his car. 29-year-old Arrest Schur was found guilty of second-degree murder and attempted murder. In July of 2023, Aurora police say he confronted two teens who were trying to break into his car. Police say the teens drove off in a different stolen car. Schur chased them after firing shots as he drove, killing one of the teens and injuring the other. He's expected to be sentenced on August 15th.